And it's so nice to be with you wherever you are at this particular time. I'm recording this in April 12th, April 18th, 2020. We're still in the middle of the COVID shelter in place, and so it's been a very challenging time for many people. There's lots of opportunities to help people during this time, and it's really wonderful to see so many people helping. There's a lot of appreciation for what is being known as the front line for these people who are considered essential workers in maintaining a normalcy and some kind of semblance of society during this time. What comes to my mind today are the people who are working in grocery stores. And I think that those are not the highest paid positions in the world. And I think that the people who work there have to work there. And they are subjecting themselves to the virus, doing everything they can to stop it. But every day they're exposed to dozens and maybe hundreds of people. And so my good thoughts and my heart goes out to all those people who are helping in grocery stores. And so thank you very, very much for your help. I'm going to be reading today from Eternity is the E in Love. And this is Experiencing Meaning and Change the World by the Power of Love. And I've been talking about love exclusively since, let's see, 94, 2004. It's been a long time. And we're in a place called Rituals. It's the second part of the book, and I'm going to be reading today from pages 103, and I think I'll only read through pages 106, and then that's going to get us off into another larger section. So here we go with the reading for today. The ritual of the 5 daily thanksgivings. What starts my day also punctuates it. I have 5 rituals of thanksgiving daily. I give thanks when I wake, at every meal, and when I go to bed. These are not elaborate rituals. They are simple. My thanksgiving at meals is exceedingly simple and influenced by my Christian heritage. In fact, I use this prayer ritualistically for many occasions. Here it is. Thank you, dear God, for every good thing. In Jesus' name, amen. Here's another version of the ritual that works just as well. We are thankful for every good thing. The content isn't as important as the act itself. It doesn't matter if you're eating alone or with others. It is the verbal expression of thanks that counts. Here's another good one. You can give thanks anywhere. So make every meal a ritual. Let me back that up because I misspoke. Here is another good thing. You can give thanks anywhere. So make every meal a ritual of thanksgiving. Here's a script for you to use in public settings, at restaurants, and even in people's homes. I'm so thankful to share this meal with you and for every good thing in my life. There's nothing weird or awkward about being thankful. Some Christians will feel the need to use special religious language, such as invoking God's name or bowing their heads as a part of their cultures. And then in parentheses, I write, interestingly, Jesus lifted his head when he prayed. End of quote. Frankly, I'm not concerned about that. Expressing thanks is what is important. And so those are the 5 occasions where I ritually express thanksgiving. Notice I use the word thanksgiving there. In my mind, thanksgiving conjures up the day and the celebration. It conjures up the meal together and the community and the act of sharing and bringing food together and participating in a moment, a day that's dedicated to being thankful. So you can call it gratitude, but for this occasion, I'm calling it thanksgiving. All right, page 104, morning rituals. Maybe you have read or heard of the book Miracle Mornings. Ever since I've known better, I know that the morning is the most important part of the day. It is for me especially. It's when I have the most energy. It's when I can get the most done. It's when I can be more focused. During the afternoon, my energy begins to wane. There's some really great studies about working in the morning. There is a study that I think will be easy for you to track down about judges, how judges seem to be more empathetic, more compassionate, more understanding in the mornings, and it reflects in their in the way that they respond, the decisions that they make. And in the afternoons, they're sharper, they're more concise, they're briefer, and they're less empathetic, those decisions that are made. And that's important, especially if you're going to be in front of a judge for any reason. You may want to make sure that you have a morning date. Morning rituals. The book Miracle Mornings underscores the importance of morning rituals. Your morning rituals will control your mindset for the most important part of your day. Take control of your life by taking control of your morning rituals. Let me share with you my morning ritual and let it inspire you to create your own. Now, since writing this, my morning ritual has been tweaked a little bit. I'll share that with you. It's nevertheless an extremely important ritual for my day. My morning ritual begins about 8:30 p.m. the night before. It's when I begin my bedtime ritual, mindful that I'm setting myself up for the next day. I guard that time very much. And so sometimes that's an issue in my home because there's activities that go on that are beyond 8 o'clock or 8:30. And here I am thinking about it's time to get ready for my next day. And everybody else is still active and participating and living this particular day. So that can be a bit challenging. My morning ritual begins about 8 p.m. the night before. That's when I begin my bedtime ritual, mindful that I'm setting myself up for the next day. I calm myself and I remove anything that will distract me with negativity. I control what I let into my mind during this time so that nothing will overstimulate me. So I've discovered that if I'm watching an action movie before I go to bed, I have a flow of adrenaline that's still going through my mind, which makes it difficult for me to calm down and to continue with my ritual. So I try not to watch an action movie if I'm going to be watching anything at all on TV. I don't want uncomfortable thoughts to follow me to bed. I've learned what causes me to ruminate is I have learned what causes me to ruminate and what lends to relaxing. Jennifer and I sleep together and follow much of the advice that Sean Stevenson offers in his book, Sleep Smarter. Really great book. I hope that you read it. I took a course on sleep, and his advice is a nice corollary to what I learned. We don't have a TV in our bedroom. Stevenson states that there are only two activities that should happen in the bedroom, and one of them is sleep. So we're leaving it to your imagination what the other one is. We stow away our phones and our electric devices. We keep oxygen-producing plants in our room. We control the light that entering our room, and we keep it as dark as possible. We set the room temperature for quality sleeping. So even during the winter, sometimes I'll crack open my door so that it's crisp and cool, which seems to make better sleeping for me. We go to bed at 9 p.m. I've been doing it more like 8:30 more recently. And Jennifer and I sleep close, skin to skin, which I believe promotes positive brain body chemicals like oxytocin. Great sleep leads to a great morning. On gym days, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, except when you're sheltered in place and you can't go to the gym at all, we set the alarm for 4:50, so we get nearly 8 hours of sleep. And here's another change. I now wake up at 4 a.m. instead of 4:50. I really enjoy my focused attention in the morning. I spend time reading and studying and writing. Most of this book was written during the morning time. And so I'm taking advantage. I'm getting up at 4 a.m. now. Frequently, I wake before the alarm goes off. And when it happens, I practice full body relaxation. I count my breaths and I breathe in, I am grateful, and I breathe out, I love you. I am grateful. I love you. And I do that for as long as necessary, sometimes a half an hour, sometimes even longer. When the alarm sounds, I continue to recite to myself, I am grateful. All this before I put my feet on the ground. And when I get my feet on the ground, I recite to myself, what a beautiful day. Regardless of what the conditions are, I tell myself, I let my brain and my body know that it's a beautiful day. It's really subjective, isn't it? I mean, the world could be going to hell in a handbasket, and you can find something beautiful in the midst of it. Then I turn, and Jennifer and I make the bed. So every morning we make the bed together. And that's a wonderful ritual. Maybe you've heard that general give his commencement speech where he talks about the importance of making your bed. Next, get dressed for the gym, and then it's off to the kitchen where I drink my ritual glass of water. I have a glass of water and recently been putting Metamucil in it because I find that it's very helpful for me for a dozen different reasons. And that's what I drink. It's like my replenishing my body from a long night's sleep, getting that water that I need. That's an important ritual to me. You can tell, right? Then it's off to the kitchen where I drink my ritual glass of water. When Joanna shows up, Joanna is my daughter. She's our oldest child, and we go to the gym with her. Then it's off the gym. She shows up, then it's off the gym where I have my own special workout regimen, while Jennifer and Joanna have a coach that helps them with their training. I have my own specific ritual. At 6:15, we jump back in the car and make it home for at 6:30 for another ritual glass of water. Well, I want to replenish my rehydrate after going to the gym, right? That's a good idea. And then I make my special blend coffee, and I sit down to write. So I order my coffee from a friend who lives in New Mexico, and he he roasts it so nice. Yeah, I just love it, and so I feel like part of my coffee ritual is helping him with his business also, and that makes me feel really good. See how rituals play in, how important the little things that we do play in to our routines and provide meaning and significance. Now, who would have ever thought that you order your coffee from out of state that helps a person with their small business, and that is an important part of your everyday morning ritual. As you drink the coffee, you think of him and you're grateful for what he's provided for you, and it just sets your day up a little bit better. Um, on non-gym days, I have more time to write. Most of this book was written during this time. I get into a trance-like state when I write. Some call it flow. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm doing this because I like to write or because I like the feeling of the flow. I think it really has a profound effect on my reward center. And I think that I really like the feeling that I get from that. After writing, I feel my brain feels so alive and energized. It makes me feel like, oh, wow. And not only that, but my creative juices really come alive during that time. And I feel so much more creative. I couldn't have created the thoughts and the images and the words that I have created had I not been in that particular state. I love that state of flow. And then after that, at 7 a.m., I make my special blend protein drink, and I give you the recipe in the book for that. It's got blueberries and spinach and vegetable protein. I use dates for sweeteners and honey. I include all kinds of wonderful things in it. And so when you get the book, you can read about that. But if you don't have it, I think I'll probably be sharing it with you as part of this book that I'm reading. Okay, so I share that drink with Grandma June, who is Jennifer's mother. Jennifer likes another breakfast, and it's important for me that June, who is 80, in late 80s, it's important for me that she gets nutrition, and part of her preferred diet is Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars, which I understand are really fantastic and delicious. It's just that they don't have the nutrients that she needs. So I try to make her a protein drink that's full of micronutrients that will help her sustain her vigor for as long as as long as we're around, both of us. Next, I often help Jennifer make her special breakfast. Then it's off to the shower, and by 8:15, I'm off to the office. I try to leave the house a little bit before 8. Sometimes I'm lucky I can get to the office at 8 o'clock, which gives me some time to do some administrative details before we get on our script practice. I'm ready for script practice with my sales team. Now, since this time, we've plugged in another brief meeting at 8:20, and at 8:20, we review the numbers of our business to see what we're doing each day. We have a specific number that we're taking a look at and keeping track of our numbers, and then we go right from that into script practice. A lot of what we do is talking with people on the phone, and we want to be able to say the right things, and so we practice. We practice nearly every day from 8:35 until 9 o'clock. Next, I jump on the phone and I make my sales calls until 11. And then from 11 until lunchtime, I take care of administrative activities. My morning is then complete. I time block my afternoon and my evening events. All the important events of my day are completed by noon. Morning is the most important part of the day, and controlling your morning rituals will determine how your day unfolds. Make your day meaningful by controlling your morning rituals. So this whole book is about finding meaning and significance in life. And, the more I read this, the more I appreciate it. And the rituals do add meaning and significance to my life. And so it's so important to ritualize these habits so that they have meanings. A habit is something that you do over and over again, same time, same place, same circumstances, and you just do it almost mindlessly. A ritual is a habit that you are more intentional with. You ascribe meaning to the habit, and it becomes a ritual. So I have more rituals going to share with you. I have a whole set of religious rituals. I have, in fact, that's the next chapter is religious rituals. And then after that, I have breathing rituals. And then I have rituals for major life events. And all of that is in my book, Eternity is the E in Love. And my name is Brian Martin. And I hope that you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.